You see, facing David Benavidez?
Why not this year? Yeah, it's also the option for us. Benavidez, Beterbiev, you mentioned Canelo. Also in my head, I would like to move up to get a chance to fight for another belt.
When people talk about a possible fight between Dmitry Bivol and David Benavidez, Lennox Lewis believes only one fighter would win. He is very sure about this, and that belief shapes everything that comes next in this light heavyweight story.
Benavidez, that's my guy right there. He's a serious contender.
Do you think he's swerving him, Canelo?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just a blatant straight out swerve. Don't fancy it.
Yeah, definitely. The man's a boogeyman in one sense. He's like, who is out there to give him a good fight? I don't see anybody out there to give him a good fight.
A fight between Bivol and Benavidez is one of the most wanted matchups in boxing today. Fans and experts are excited because it would bring together two very different styles, a clash of momentum, and a chance to settle unfinished business. Bivol is known as a calm and disciplined fighter, a true technician. His careful footwork, smart punches, and tight combinations have frustrated some of the hardest hitters in the sport. His recent fights have only made his reputation stronger. When he first tried to become the undisputed champion at light heavyweight, he lost a close decision to Artur Beterbiev. Many thought he might never overcome that challenge. But Bivol did something few expected. He went the full fight again, learned from the experience, and in the rematch he made the right adjustments to win on the scorecards, claiming all 4 major belts. That win not only evened the rivalry but also proved that Bivol can think and adapt under extreme pressure. A third fight with Beterbiev is still possible, but delays and mandatory title rules have put it on hold for now. One of those rules opened the door for David Benavidez to become a major player in the light heavyweight division. Instead of fighting Bivol as a mandatory challenger, Bivol gave up the WBC belt, which made Benavidez the full champion. Benavidez didn't waste any time proving himself. In his first fight defending the light heavyweight title, he knocked out Anthony Yarde, showing that his speed, power, and aggression moved up perfectly from super middleweight. But Benavidez isn't stopping there. He has said that light heavyweight is not his final goal. Before he goes back to chase the biggest names at 175 pounds, he is planning a bold move to cruiserweight. A fight with unified champion Gilberto Ramirez is set for May, giving Benavidez a chance to win belts in a third weight class and continue building his legacy as one of boxing's most exciting champions.
Could be getting the Bivol versus Beterbiev trilogy later on this year. That is according to Eddie Hearn on a Stomping Ground interview. He said he was speaking to Teki tonight.
This non-stop movement is one reason Lennox Lewis is so impressed. He doesn't see Benavidez as just another champion, but as a tough problem no one wants to face. Lewis often praises Benavidez for his pressure, confidence, and fearlessness. To him, Benavidez is the kind of fighter who pushes opponents out of their comfort zone with constant attacks. He believes this is true even if Benavidez fights someone as skilled as Bivol.
As Bivol beat Canelo, that'd be an interesting fight, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Benavidez, Dmitry Bivol.
Benavidez and Bivol, I'm still picking Benavidez on that one.
He is quality and a classy operator.
Yes, he is.
I saw him against Caleb Plant, and that was a great fight. That was.
Yeah.
That's definitely an honor for me, and like I said, yeah, I think now what really motivates me is, like I said, having the support from you guys, all the legends and stuff, and really just wanting to show the world who I am. I think the CompuBox like most accurate punchers came out, and I was number 2 at one of the most accurate punchers in boxing. So I think that just really shows the level of where I am. So, by the time my career is finished, I want to be known as one of the greatest of my generation. So I still have a lot of work to do. But like I said, this doesn't scare me at all. If anything, it motivates me. And, I just love the sport of boxing. And by the time I'm done, I'm going to accomplish everything I set out to accomplish.
I heard him the last time we sparred.
There's rumors about your sparring sessions with Bivol. People, insiders, have told me that you've given him that work.
Well, you know what? I say the sparring sessions are sparring sessions. And a lot of people like to say that, it's not the same thing in the fight. I like to say that it is the same thing. If you could touch somebody in the sparring, you could touch them in the fight. You know what I mean? And Bivol is a great fighter, but like I said, every time I get in there with a great fighter, it puts me to a different mindset because I know, these fighters are very dangerous. So when I was sparring with Bivol, I sparred him a lot, you know, and you could go ask him, whoever his people are. I'm not no liar, you know, I heard him the last time we sparred. But not to say that I'm not just gonna bank off that, be like, oh yeah, I heard him in sparring, well, I'm gonna just knock him out in the fight. No, you know what I mean? I know Bivol's a great fighter. I give him all the respect, but as of hurting him, I did hurt him the last time I sparred him. And I was, 21 years old? It's 22. Wow. I was 22 years old. Wow. But to answer your question, he's became a great fighter. He's gotten way better since then. But guess what? I've got way better since then too.
Lennox Lewis isn't the only one talking about this possible fight. Many respected boxing experts have shared their thoughts, and even the top voices don't all agree. Some see Benavidez as a natural bully in the ring, a fighter who attacks non-stop and slowly wears down anyone he faces. They believe his energy and power make him very dangerous over time. Others point to Bivol's calm style and smart ring thinking. They say he can control the distance and the pace of the fight, which might stop Benavidez from using his biggest strengths. James Toney clearly falls into the first group. He believes that Benavidez's constant activity and strong punches would eventually be too much for Bivol, possibly causing a stoppage rather than letting the fight go to the judges. Many can't help but compare Benavidez to Better Biv, the fighter who gave Bivol his only loss with crushing power. While Benavidez doesn't have the same nearly perfect knockout record, his 80% finishing rate still makes him a serious threat. The big question fans and experts keep asking is whether the power that worked so well for Benavidez at super middleweight, and which is growing at light heavyweight, would be enough to challenge someone as experienced and skilled as Bivol.
With Bivol, I'm not happy with getting the world title like that. I'd rather win it. You know, I was in line for 3 years, bro. For Canelo, I was in line for 3 years. Now with these guys, it's been like a year. At the end of the day, that's more negotiating power when you have a world title. And now this time, where Bivol won both fights, clearly. He could have fought me, and if he thinks he could beat me, and then go fight Better Biev again.
So what's the excuse now?
He wants to fight Better Biev again, which is honorable. Dmitry Bivol, his fighting style, when he fought Better Biev, that's a perfect game plan. Lateral movement, jabs, 1, 2, 3s. So it's going to be the same thing.
I don't know if Better Biev could really do very square.
And he does a lot of weights and shit like that.
Unless he just turns it into a fight and stalks the shit out of him.
Well, he tried to do that the first 2 times.
Shakur Stevenson has a more careful take. He sees this fight as one of the best boxing could make, no matter who wins. He slightly favors Bivol because of his skill and ability to fight through tough moments. Still, he admits Benavidez's pressure would make the fight very hard. Stevenson believes that if Bivol wins, it would be a close and tough battle, not an easy victory.
Do you want to see a trilogy, or would you rather just see the Benavidez?
I'd rather see the Benavidez. I mean, Better Biev deserve a trilogy technically, because of the first fight. I thought Bivol won the first fight too.
Yeah, I did too.
But me, I think that Benavidez and Bivol is another fight that's one of the biggest and best fights in the sport of boxing. I don't know if it's the biggest, but one of the best as far as like competitive wise.
Who you got in there? That's a hard fight. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm leaning towards Bivol, but I know like it would be tough with Benavidez with his pressure.
Oscar De La Hoya adds a different view to the debate. He likes how active Benavidez is and how well he adjusts during a fight. De La Hoya believes these strengths could give Benavidez the edge, especially against a fighter coming back from injury. While he respects Bivol's skills, he is more impressed by the energy and hunger Benavidez shows every time he fights.
I would favor Benavidez.
After the fight, Bivol mentioned, some options for himself. He said, hey, not a problem going to a third fight with Better Biev. He did mention a Canelo rematch, as well as a fight with David Benavidez. Out of those 3, Oscar, to you, what's the most interesting?
Wow. I think Benavidez is very interesting. I think that's a hell of a fight. Wow. I mean, if he's willing to do that, if he's willing to be great and fight Benavidez, my gosh, that would solidify, Bivol's, Hall of Fame career for sure. But look, yeah, he proves to the world that he's the best at 175. So, yeah, I think that's a hell of a fight. That would be a hell of a route to take.
Would you favor him or Benavidez in that?
Well, that's a tough one. That's a tough one because, I would go with Benavidez because he's more active. He throws more punches. He has better footwork, obviously, than Better Biev. He's smarter up there. He knows how to think, knows how to adjust. Yeah, I would favor Benavidez.
Behind all these opinions are tricky schedules and big career choices that make everything complicated. Bivol now holds 3 of the 4 major belts and has been told to defend his IBF title along with the WBA and WBO against his mandatory challenger, Michael Eifert. Eifert has waited a long time for this chance, and that fight must happen first, which means Bivol can't chase other big fights right now. At the same time, Benavidez is moving up to cruiserweight, which takes him out of the light heavyweight picture for a while, even though he says he won't stay at 200 pounds for long. Benavidez has shown a mix of confidence and honesty when talking about his future. He wants to fight Ramirez and see how he does at cruiserweight, but he also admits that another champion at that weight, Jai Opetaia, is very dangerous. Opetaia has built a reputation as a powerful and destructive fighter, so Benavidez knows he has to be careful. Even though he is willing to fight anyone eventually, he wants to see how his strength and punching power work at the heavier weight first. This careful approach shows that even with his aggressive style, Benavidez is thinking smartly about timing and his long-term career. These same thoughts also connect back to light heavyweight. Benavidez has talked about sparring with Bivol in the past, remembering moments where he landed punches and saw openings. Sparring doesn't always show who would win in a real fight, but these experiences make the idea of a real match even more exciting and personal. From Benavidez's point of view, those moments hint at ways he believes he could challenge Bivol if the two finally face each other in the ring.
I gotta be 100% honest. I gotta get myself started at cruiserweight first because Opetaia is a beast. You know, I've been watching him. I like him a lot. He's a great fighter. But definitely, let me get up there. Let me see how it is, and I could definitely, like I said, I don't shy away from no fighter.
We know that.
And that would be a great fight. I mean, it would be amazing not to have to cut weight. Yeah.
Jai Opetaia, David Benavidez is one of the best fights you can possibly make in boxing in 2026. If Benavidez makes that jump successfully to cruiserweight, becomes the unified champion, takes Zurdo's belts, we must see Jai Opetaia and David Benavidez fight each other at some point in time. That fight right there will be one of the best fights to make in boxing. You're talking about two guys that want to go for the kill. Obviously, Benavidez has much higher output than Jai Opetaia does, but Jai Opetaia is looking for the kill at all times. David Benavidez is a very skilled fighter, as is Jai Opetaia. That fight right there, styles make fights. That is a fight made in heaven right there. If we were to put together some of the best fights to make right now, I want to see Benavidez and Opetaia fight if Benavidez makes the jump successfully to cruiserweight and beats Zurdo.
Meanwhile, other fighters are watching closely. Ben Whittaker, an unbeaten British boxer, thinks Bivol's experience and skill could be the hardest challenge for Benavidez at 175 pounds. His view shows a bigger point in the division. Even those unsure about Bivol beating Benavidez still respect how good he is.
How would you have rated his chances if he'd have ever fought Dmitry Bivol or Artur Beterbiev?
That's the thing, they're seasoned at the weight. The big light heavies, they've got experience and they always find a way to do it. So for me, I think the person who could have beat him is Bivol. Bivol can box and he can fight. But we keep hearing these sparring stories. He knows something we don't apparently, so it is what it is.
All of this happens while old rivalries are still unfinished. The Bivol-Beterbiev trilogy is one of boxing's most wanted matchups, a fight that would finally settle their score and shape the division. Until then, other fights feel temporary depending on injuries, mandatory rules, and deals. What makes the Bivol-Benavidez talk so interesting is that there isn't one clear story. There are different paths pulling the sport in different directions. Bivol shows skill, patience, and smart thinking in the ring. Benavidez shows energy, ambition, and a drive to take on challenges in different weight classes. Lennox Lewis's opinion supports this view, painting Benavidez as a modern boogeyman, both feared and admired.
Which one is more of the fight?
I know Dmitry Bivol more than Beterbiev, but I think Dmitry Bivol just put the game plan out how to beat Beterbiev. But both of them, I have to be at the top of my game. Training camp has to be the hardest training camp I've ever been through to win those fights. Both of them. A more like a barn burner fight would be me and Beterbiev. Fights like that, people that got a lot of power, you gotta use movement. So I think that would show a different aspect in my game. But I'm 100% confident I beat both those guys. It's not gonna be easy at all, but this is what we're here for.
As 2026 begins, the stakes get higher. Benavidez's fight with Ramirez could show how strong he really is and boost his confidence when he returns to 175 pounds. Bivol's mandatory fight will test his skill and toughness after surgery and time off. The results of these fights will shape what people think and keep the debate alive about what would happen if these two champions finally face each other.